These moments had a 1 in a million chance of happening. Dropping things isn't a big deal on land. But if you're out in open waters, good luck getting your hat back. I thought he might turn the boat around, but he tried a more unique approach. Instead, I don't know if he was aiming for the net or not, but kicking the ball into the trees definitely won't help. And again, if you're lucky enough, anything could happen. If you wipe out on a snowboard, you'll stay down for a bit. That's mostly true. Anyway, it makes you wonder if this is just skill or plain luck. What a fuck. Losing a wheel in the middle of a race can be pretty dangerous. But instead of causing a crash, this wheel decided to go home. All it took was a slow roll down the hill and a perfect jump. Some people have incredible skills. This isn't one of this man's. I know that's hard to believe after this amazing display, but just look at the confusion on his face. He has no idea how he did that. This guy was absolutely sure. He'd just thrown his food on the floor. But that was just his perspective. That couldn't have ended better for him. Fishing typically requires lots of skill most of the time anyway. This guy would say it's the easiest thing in the world, but fish don't normally catch themselves for you. He just got lucky. This guy was all set to perform a backwards full court shot. The ball was on target, which is more than most of us could hope for. But instead of landing the perfect shot, he just missed it in the most incredible way possible. We like treats, but this girl wasn't expecting hers to be taken away like that. Better luck next time, I guess. Don't try this at home. Seriously. The chances of throwing a hammer in the air and having it land like that are little to none. I guess that's one way of getting the job done. Trick shots take practice, but not even the greatest pool players are capable of this shot. It was pretty unfair for the ball to bounce out, and he was rewarded in the end. We all wish mistakes worked out this way. The first mistake was the guy heading straight towards him. The second was falling off the board. We've all seen some great ski stunts. Usually they're done on purpose. This one, not so much. The umpire usually doesn't get involved with the ball, but with this impossible shot, he didn't really have much choice. It's like the ball had a mind of its own. Some people are really good at taking an opportunity when it comes to them. This guy did that in a literal way. When a bird flew a little too close to him, he took his chance. You've got to wonder how many times these kids tried this before it worked. This is the definition of a perfect shot. No doubt about it. The best Jenga strategy anyone has is to play it safe. Don't do what this man's trying. You'll never win. Well, not unless you have the skills of a ninja like him. There's a fine line between perfect timing and bad luck. Just a few seconds extra and their tricks could have been ruined, but somehow they managed to miss each other by the tiniest of margins. Anyone who's ever gone bowling before knows how unfortunate this is. That's not the way you want the pins to look. There's just no way to get them all. Unless you're a bowling wizard like this kid, then you can do anything. If you're working out this way, it's vital to have strong equipment. Otherwise, something like this can happen. I bet he was never expecting things to turn out that way, but I'll bet he's glad it did. We often see more than we think we do. I don't think this guy knew he was watching, but the moment the clock fell, he jumped into action. That's what I call a perfect save. I'm a bad boy. Sometimes the least favorable situations lead to the greatest of victories. When all else fails, just swing it. You never know, it might even work. Ever had a close call? Not as close as this one. After seeing this, you'll never play baseball without your helmet again. You could say she was staring death in the face. It's the little things that count. The world isn't perfect. But if the life of just one dropped pizza can be saved, that makes it all worth it. Ever been whitewater rafting? Everyone who's tried it knows how terrifying it is here. You can see why. Just imagine if he didn't flip all the way around. Yeah. If you thought ping pong was repetitive, think again. I'll bet that was the last thing his opponent was expecting. This rapper was lucky enough to be caught on camera when this magical moment happened to him. At least he had the option to keep his hat the second time round. Never mind. In case you don't watch football, I'm here to tell you that penalties don't usually look like this, but I wish they did. The odds were stacked against him, but this is goal defending at its finest. This guy was happy about his baseball skills and decided to end his batting with a flourish, but his full potential was revealed by mistake when the bat amazingly came to a standstill on its head. The first rule of sport is never take your eye off the ball. That's even more true. If you're a goalkeeper, I guess this one was a bit too busy celebrating to notice the ball slowly bouncing into the net. Here's a kid discovering he has a unique talent. I don't know what else to call it. Nobody else could pull off a shot like that, but he doesn't just do it once, he pulls it off again with the very next ball. He seems just as shocked as everyone else in sport. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. That seems to be what happened here. Who would have thought that blocking the ball could lead to such confusion? There have been so many great catches in baseball, but this one's definitely up there with the greats. Nobody even realized he caught the ball. I wonder if he meant to do that. Contestants have to stop the clock as close as they can to 9.91 seconds. Check out how this guy nails the perfect score. If you thought reaching the other side of the pit was impossible, this guy just proved otherwise. Never in a million years would I have thought that's humanly possible. There's a fine line between great stunts and horrible accidents. This snowboarder found that out the hard way. How many times can you spin around before you start getting dizzy? Now, try landing a basketball shot, or better yet, you could try doing it like this guy. I don't know how, but I could watch it forever. You'll never win a football match if you don't know where the ball is. But sometimes things just fall into place, like the ball fell into this player's arms without him even realizing. It didn't matter. He still got the points. Ice skating can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. He can clearly skate. It's the showing off he has a problem with. No matter how much you prepare for something, things aren't guaranteed to go well, but once in a while they actually do. It doesn't matter how many times you practice something, it's bound to go wrong, but you better hope that when that time comes, you have as much luck as this guy. I don't know how many things needed to be perfect for this moment to happen, but they all happened in exactly the right way. And that kid can't believe his luck. Dogs are pretty great escape artists. Surely, no dog's getting over that. Right. Well, better luck next time. Pole vaulting always looks dangerous. Jumping in big sticks aren't a good combination. Nothing ever goes wrong though. Right. Well, this pole vaulter had a pretty close call. Luckily, only his clothes were harmed. Look at me, If you do the same thing every day, you'll get good at it. But the chances of nailing this on the first attempt are second to none. Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time. Who would have thought sitting so close to the court could lead to such great rewards? I wouldn't even know where to start with this Rubik's Cube. But this guy is a pro. He was able to solve it before the other guy even picked up his own. Bowling isn't too complicated unless you do things like this guy. The way he threw the ball made his chances of getting the final pin almost impossible until he actually did get it by some sort of luck. I'm not too sure who the lucky one is here. The guy who wiped out on his board, or the girls. He nearly crashed his board into what, even with the chances of their steps like up so perfectly like that. You can already see what's about to happen here. If the hook on the crane falls, both the man and the sports car are in danger, except it missed by an inch. The odds were against that driver for sure. Practice makes perfect. But I think you need some talent too. This girl has both. I don't think I could ever do this no matter how much practice I get. You can bet these two people had no other option than to throw their mattress off the building, but they definitely never expected it to work this well. We've seen basketball trick shots before, and we've seen water bottle tricks too. But have you seen them combined? Probably not. That's just a little too difficult to pull off unless you're this guy. It's not so easy to surf next to someone like this, but amazing skills always help. This man saw a wipeout as an opportunity to try out something new.